Hello and welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Today's show topic, how to manifest weight loss and stop emotional eating and food addiction symptoms such as overeating, binge eating, stress eating, and food cravings. Today I'll be covering 5 topics. First, why previous weight loss attempts failed. Second, your subconscious mind's role in weight loss, emotional eating, and food addiction. Third, the fact that you, my friend, are a magnet. Fourth, learning how to get out of your own way. Fifth, creating your own personal blueprint. So let's talk about why your previous weight loss attempts failed. They failed because when you adopted the new behavior or series of behaviors, you only thought it was difficult because you weren't used to doing it yet. So you worried that you didn't know how to do it. And then, to make things even more problematic, you wrongly assumed that it couldn't be done for you. Now, this idea may be a little bit challenging to grasp. However, hang with me for a moment. Think back eons ago to when people thought the earth was flat and someone told them that it was round. That idea was completely insane to try to grasp. It's the same thing with your subconscious mind. And as you try to adopt a new behavior, your subconscious mind says the world's flat. Your conscious mind is telling you it's round. Why? Why does it do this? You see, the subconscious role is survival. That's its only purpose in your life. It is hardwired in your DNA for generations. And for good reason. It's pretty important to keep you alive. Your body loves you. And it will overwhelm your conscious mind's willpower by using doubt, fear, insecurity, uncertainty, and confusion, not to keep you from wearing that pretty dress, not to keep you from looking fantastic in that bathing suit. All it knows is what you were doing before, it kept you alive. So it wants to keep you right there. Let's delve deeper into the subconscious mind's role in weight loss, emotional eating, and food addiction. I want you to imagine that you are on a skateboard. You're on one side of the street. You want to get to the other side of the street as quickly as possible. There's only one little rule. You're not allowed to move forward unless you're actually on that skateboard. So let's just assume for kicks that you already know how to balance yourself and you already know how to move on a skateboard. We're just going to move that on out the way. And it's also very easy for you to do as long as the surface is smooth. But what happens if the pavement is bumpy, uneven, cracked? When you're working with and implementing the law of attraction and vibration to access the resources of a higher power to create everything you want, that other side of the street, it represents everything that you want in your life and your goals. The skateboard is your subconscious mind. The bumps and texture of the pavement is your resistance. Everything that your belief system has laid the groundwork for, your value system. Now, when everything's smooth and you get up to speed on that skateboard, you get to the other side flawlessly. But if it's messy, you're going to fall. You're going to scrape your knee a bit. You might hit your head on the pavement and say, ow. It doesn't feel good as you hit these bumps in the pavement. And this is when most people don't bother to get back up on the proverbial skateboard and just keep going. They get so discouraged, they decide that they don't want to continue anymore, and they never get to the other side of the street where the nirvana is, where their goals are, what's waiting for them. Now, wouldn't you much rather skate on the smooth pavement instead? So this is the part where we dive into the fact that you are a magnet. All of us are magnets. Have you ever had a time where you were thinking about someone and then they magically called you not too soon after you thought about them? That's an example of you being magnetic. When we have certain thoughts and certain emotions, they vibrate. And remember, everything's energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, they're energy, and they're at a certain energetic level. This has been proven by quantum physics. It is not woo-woo. But these vibrations, like attracts like. And the more you think about it, the more momentum it gets until finally that item pops into our physical reality. So let's think about this for a moment as you think about the last time you dieted or the last time you said you weren't going to binge and then it happened. You're saying you're not going to binge, but you're thinking in the back of your mind, as I've spoken with many women, and they're saying, I'm not going to binge, I'm not going to binge. And number one, the subconscious mind doesn't process knots. So automatically your subconscious mind processes and says, I'm going to binge. Next, scarcity mindset. If you're thinking about what you have to give up, or that this won't work, this new behavior that I'm adopting, this new plan that I'm taking on, this won't work, and you have your family members and loved ones and friends telling you how much it's not going to work, and you fall into that gravity, then of course the outcome is it doesn't work. So next, this leads me into my next point. Learn to get out of your own way. This is the part where it's actually easier than you might think with the right guidance to break those subconscious patterns that have been holding you back. All you need to do is seriously tap into the tools that help you get out of your own way. And when you don't have these tools, many people simply hold themselves back with various limiting beliefs. And these limiting beliefs, some of them are blind spots. And these blind spots are so obvious that when you sit down and reflect, you can see them clearly and begin to move them like debris. But some blind spots, some limiting beliefs, they become so second nature, so ingrained that they become invisible. You don't even notice that they're pulling you and keeping you down and away from your goals. So the next time that you embark upon changing your behavior and you start feeling a certain way, that feeling is a clear indicator as to whether something that you want is on its way. So if you embark upon changing your behavior and you say you're not going to binge, but you're feeling this deep, tight feeling in your chest right here, it's telling you that you don't want that to happen. And it's basically drawing you into the reality that you don't want. You see, and allow me to give you a little bit more insight into this. Your whole life, you've been conditioned to believe, almost hypnotized, to believe that everything that you want is on the outside of you through some hack or some quick freebie tip or fix somewhere out there. And what happens is that belief that you hold It separates you from the reality that you don't have yet. It also reinforces when things don't work out, especially in the time that you want, that something's not meant for you or that it's harder to get. And the reality is that's not the case. Clear the debris from your path on the way to your nirvana by getting the tools to shift your mindset, and then the way becomes easy and simpler. Ask yourself this question. If you knew that nothing could stop you and that failure was an utter impossibility, what would you want? This leads me to my next point of creating your own personal blueprint. When you ask yourself that question, allow whatever comes to come. Give yourself permission to fly. No limits, no monetary limits, no practical limits. No, for us moms out there, no trying to figure out who's going to take the kids kind of limits. When you begin to gravitate and then write it down, what it is that you want, and focus on that day and night, and allow yourself to remain calm and fixated and find that center core of calm and inner reserve and resolve, everything begins to open up for you because you are creating your own blueprint and you're building your own legacy and stepping into your destiny. You no longer become victim to the scarcity mindset of saying, I can't have that. I can't wear that. I can't get that money or that promotion on my job until I am 2 dress sizes lighter. I can't have that relationship, or I can't receive someone treating me with the respect and giving me the pleasure that I deserve out of my life until I'm X size. Remove that blockage and barrier from yourself now. And there are so many tools out there. It's not an impossibility. But even becoming aware of just this alone, your world right now has already started to shift both mentally, physically, and energetically. The key is to be able to keep that momentum going. And that's where a lot of us fall off that skateboard. And I say it's time to hop on that skateboard and stay on that sucker and ride it to the other side until you reach your goal. And it's there waiting for you. It hasn't moved. It's not an impossibility. No one stole your cheese. It's right there waiting for you. You just have to write the blueprint, learn the plan, identify the limiting beliefs, get out of your own way, and follow it. If you'd like some assistance with that, to move this process along much faster, make your way easier, simpler, more effortless. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant, and I can be found on edibleaddiction.com. I created the Dr. Grant Show to give tips and advice to women and some brave men that are struggling with emotional eating and food addiction. Because I lost my mother to obesity, emotional eating, and food addiction. And I saw her deny herself of things that should have rightfully been hers, from her career to her health, to access to good health care to be treated with dignity and respect. Hobbies, travel. And I don't want any more people to miss out on the life that they truly deserve because they didn't have the tools available to them. So I created the first scientific online study designed specifically for plus-size women. And in 4 weeks, 4 little weeks, these women experienced a massive drop and decrease in their food addiction symptoms: overeating, binge eating, food cravings, stress eating, anxiety. And even though this wasn't the goal of my study, which is a happy coincidence, because once you remove the emotional encumbrances and ensnarements, the weight just magically melts away. So these ladies, according to their reports, lost as much as 20 pounds in those 4 weeks. You see, getting healthier has nothing to do with those Captain Obvious statements such as use more willpower, stop eating when you're full, count your calories. These are too obvious. If it were that simple, everybody would be where they want it to be. So wouldn't you agree? There has to be something else, something more. And I've found through my scientific research that more. I invite you to check out edibleaddiction.com. My contact information is housed there. And if this sounds like the logical next step, we should have a conversation. Much love to you. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant. Everyone have a wonderful day. Bye.